Hey folks, in this video we're going to talk about the zombie attack on the Marvel Universe. Something really bad is spreading across different realities in the Marvel world. A sickness puts everything at risk and could wipe out all life in those realities. This is how zombies came to the Marvel Universe and almost destroyed all life on Earth. It all started with an event called Marvel Zombies 2007. Dead Days, just like in other Earths where zombies took over. In 2149, a version of the Sentry from another reality got infected with a zombie virus. With sheer determination, he punched a hole into a different universe for more food. The Avengers were among the first to get infected when they investigated this strange event in New York. They were torn apart and turned into zombies by this powerful Sentry. The world started to fall apart in just a few seconds and faced total destruction. The Avengers have gone insane and started to eat people. Spider-Man tries to reason with them, but they attack him before he can get through to them. Mary Jane is ready to leave New York, but it's too late. Spider-Man has already started to turn into a zombie. Within moments, Peter's transformation into a ravenous zombie is complete, his insatiable hunger taking control. Just as he devours MJ, Aunt May returns to the room. Desperately, Peter pleads with his aunt to lock herself in the bathroom, for he can no longer control his own body. Meanwhile, in the city's heart, the Avengers unleash a merciless slaughter upon any unfortunate civilians within their grasp. Nova swiftly flies over to Peter's apartment to check on his family. To his horror, he discovers Spider-Man hunched over, ruthlessly feasting on the remnants of MJ and Aunt May. Spider-Man, consumed by his insatiable hunger, refuses to share and viciously attacks Nova, throwing him out of the window and attempting to sink his teeth into his face. In the nick of time, Daredevil intervenes, realizing the grim truth. They must kill Spider-Man to end this nightmare. This revelation takes Nova aback, and his momentary hesitation allows Spider-Man to sink his teeth into Daredevil. Meanwhile, Colonel America manages to regain control over the other zombified Avengers in the city. Their hunger temporarily subsides, granting them clarity of thought. Colonel America commands them to return to Avengers Mansion, where they can devise a plan and perhaps seek a cure. Two surviving Avengers, Ant-Man and Black Panther, flee the scene, hoping the infection has not yet reached their homes. Ant-Man suggests they attempt to develop a cure in his laboratory, but T'Challa notices a bite wound on Ant-Man. Without delay, Ant-Man enlarges his size and delivers a powerful blow, knocking T'Challa out. Meanwhile, the battle against the zombies takes a devastating toll, as heroes like Iron Fist, Nova, and Wolverine fall victim to their bites. In a desperate move, Magneto orders a retreat to the helicarrier while Reed Richards meets with the remaining members of the Fantastic Four. To everyone's shock, Reed reveals a disturbing belief that the zombies represent the next stage of human evolution. Sue Storm immediately reacts with anger, but it's too late. Reed has already infected them all by scratching them with the disease. In moments, they all succumb to the infection and swarm Mr. Fantastic. With twisted delight, Reed willingly allows them to bite him, eager to experience the transformation himself. One of the greatest minds in the Marvel Universe has succumbed to the virus. Just as Magneto is about to disappear into the sewers, Hawkeye manages to shoot an arrow into his side. In a stroke of luck, Magneto uses the shield to sever Hawkeye's head at the same time. The commotion attracts the attention of the other zombies who surround Magneto. Despite the overwhelming odds, Magneto refuses to surrender, showcasing his unyielding spirit. He throws Colonel America into a wall, impales Thor's neck with an arrow, and collapses a building onto the zombies. Magneto revels in his apparent victory, but his triumph is short-lived. The Wasp suddenly appears and tears a chunk of flesh from Magneto's neck, triggering a frenzy among the zombies. They fight over the torn pieces, eventually tearing Magneto apart. Nothing remains of the mutant once they are done. With their hunger momentarily appeased, the zombies regain control of themselves and begin questioning their existence. Ant-Man instructs the group to report to the other zombies about Magneto while he embarks on a search for his wife. He urges them to lie about Magneto's fate, concealing that they left no food for the others. Ant-Man sets off alone while Luke Cage carries Spider-Man on his back. Ant-Man's worries about his wife turned out to be untrue. Instead of searching for the Wasp, he goes to his secret lab and discovers Black Panther in a terrible state. Black Panther has lost an arm, and Ant-Man has kept him in a medical coma. Ant-Man confesses that he has been amputating parts of T'Challa's body to keep himself focused and continue his work. Hank justifies his actions by claiming that he cuts instead of biting to prevent T'Challa from getting infected and staying human, albeit in his twisted perspective. Hank even convinces himself that Black Panther would have agreed to this if he were awake. As he sews up the wound, Hank reveals his most horrifying secret. He enjoys the taste of flesh. He believes that even if he were cured, he would still have the desire to consume humans. Meanwhile, T'Challa wakes up from sedation and pleads for death, but Ant-Man refuses, as it would spoil the meat. While Black Panther continues to suffer, the Silver Surfer traverses the world, witnessing the devastation caused by the zombies. Both Latveria and Wakanda have succumbed to the undead horde. All the zombie heroes gather in Times Square. Tony and Steve discuss recent events, including their encounter with Magneto, who put up a fierce fight. The group concocts a fabricated story about Magneto's demise in a gas line explosion. Still, Tony sees through the lie when he notices Spider-Man's emotional reaction to questions about his family. Tony realizes that they consume Magneto. As the group tries to explain themselves, Tony admits that he's not angry at them, but rather upset that he didn't have the chance to feast on Iron Man. Colonel America and Iron Man discuss the inevitable. With dwindling food supplies in New York, the zombies will eventually resort to cannibalism. They acknowledge that staying in large groups poses a danger. Steve suggests splitting up for the better chances of finding food, while Iron Man proposes leaving with a small group to search the Midwest for survivors. Before they can act on their plans, Tony notices the Silver Surfer hovering in the sky. The Surfer reveals that he serves as Galactus' herald and that their world has been chosen as his next meal. He warns them to prepare for the end, but their focus remains solely on their next meal. Driven by insatiable hunger, the horde of heroes charges at the Silver Surfer. The battle between the Cosmic Herald and the undead ensues, with the Surfer initially dominating. The zombies attempt to overwhelm him with sheer numbers, but the Surfer's cosmic beams easily slice through them. Iron Man is severed in half by a single blast, leaving only his torso. Despite the Surfer's attempts to convince them to face their impending fate with dignity, the zombies remain relentless. Zombie Thor unleashes a powerful blow, smashing his replacement hammer into the Surfer's face. The impact knocks the Cosmic Herald off his board and into the clutches of the waiting zombies below. The Surfer manages to obliterate another wave of undead, but they continue to surge forward. Before the Surfer can retreat, the Hulk lunges at him, his disfigured face contorted in a grotesque resemblance to Ant-Man's decapitation of the Wasp. The Hulk tears off the Silver Surfer's head with a single bite. Meanwhile, the remaining zombies grow increasingly furious, but Colonel America's newfound cosmic blasts swiftly quell their anger. It appears that consuming the Surfer has granted him his extraordinary powers. Empowered as gods, the heroes turn against their kind. Elsewhere in the city, Black Panther manages to escape from Hank's lab, carrying the decapitated head of the Wasp with him. The Wasp attempts to persuade T'Challa to let her consume him, but he keeps her at a distance, relying solely on their past friendship to prevent her from succumbing to her hunger. T'Challa seeks respite but is confronted by former members of Magneto's group on Asteroid M. They interrogate him about Magneto's whereabouts, only to realize that he is not a zombie, but one of the few surviving humans on Earth. Meanwhile, among the zombies, Ant-Man, Colonel America, Wolverine, Luke Cage, Spider-Man, Iron Man, and the Hulk have eradicated all other heroes using their newfound cosmic powers. Iron Man swiftly discovers their ability to fly, making it easier for them to hunt down any remaining survivors on Earth. The world devourer Galactus arrives before they can revel too much in their newfound powers. He inquires about the Silver Surfer's whereabouts, and the zombies tell him they consumed him. Galactus is enraged, but the undead heroes are prepared to fight. However, as Galactus disintegrates Luke Cage's arm, their ambition may exceed their capabilities. Over the next few days, Tony, Bruce, and Hank collaborate to find a way to overcome the threat of Galactus. After days of gathering resources, the heroes finally possess everything required to confront Galactus. They have acquired vibranium from Wakanda, mystical crystals from Doctor Strange's sanctuary, and materials from Latveria in the Baxter Building. In Times Square, the heroes complete their weapon against Galactus, an amplifier for their cosmic powers. All 7 heroes channel their energies into the device, unleashing an explosive blast that significantly damages Galactus. The undead heroes discover that even gods can be wounded. They launch another blast without delay, bringing down Galactus, who collapses like a fallen giant. The villains swarm toward the fallen behemoth, but the heroes refuse to share even a single morsel of Galactus' body. 5 years have passed, and Earth has undergone a remarkable transformation. Lush vegetation now blankets the once desolate landscapes. The survivors who sought refuge on Asteroid M embark on their inaugural expedition back to the planet's surface. Reynolds, the team's scientist, affirms that the zombies have not relocated to another part of the planet. The survivors of Asteroid M are now the sole inhabitants of Earth, living beings in an eerily empty world. On a distant planet, a ruling alien monarch bids their child goodnight, but an advisor disrupts their moment. The advisor brings grave news to the king, reporting the detection of an impending threat. Galactus is drawing near. Anxious, the king inquires about the remaining time, only to realize it's already too late. The dreaded beings have arrived. 6 figures descend from the skies and unleash chaos and devastation upon the unsuspecting world. These figures are none other than our former heroes, now bestowed with the unstoppable power to consume worlds just like Galactus. Earth 2149 is now a lifeless realm, consumed by the ravenous hunger of the zombies, and the terrifying truth is that no corner of the universe can escape their insatiable craving for flesh.